Namaste dear children, I am Rekha. Welcome to my channel Rekha's Knowledge Hub. Today we will see Classic Science Periodic Test 1 Sample Paper 2025. Periodic Test 1 Sample Paper 2025-26. Classics Subject Science. Maximum marks 40. Time 1 hour 30 minutes. Section A consists of 5 MCQs of 1 mark each and 2 assertion reason based questions of 1 mark each. Section B consists of 3 short answer questions of 2 marks each. Section C consists of 3 short answer questions of 3 marks each. Section D consists of 2 long answer questions of 5 marks each. Section E consists of 2 case studies of 4 marks each. Now we will see section A. What is highlighted as the most important thing for this adventure of science? Options are intelligence, patience, curiosity, hard work. Which is the correct answer? Curiosity. Curiosity is highlighted as the most important thing for the adventure of science. Next one, what type of venation shows a net-like pattern of veins on both sides of a thick middle vein? Options are parallel venation, circular venation, reticulate venation, spiral venation. Which is the correct answer? Reticulate venation. Reticulate venation shows a net-like pattern of veins on both sides of a thick middle vein. Bleeding of gums is caused by a deficiency of vitamin A, calcium, vitamin C, proteins. Which is the correct answer? Vitamin C. Next one. When a magnet is suspended freely, in which direction does it come to rest? Options are east-west direction, north-south direction, northeast direction, any random direction. Which is the correct answer? North-south direction. When a magnet is suspended freely, it comes to rest in the north-south direction. Monocot plants typically have reticulate venation and a taproot system, parallel venation and a taproot system, reticulate venation and a fibrous root system, parallel venation and a fibrous root system. Which is the correct answer? Parallel venation and a fibrous root system. Dicot plants, they have reticulate venation and a taproot system. Next we have assertion and reason based questions. Assertion. The camel of a hot desert has long legs with wide hooves. Reason. The long legs and wide hooves help the camel to walk easily on the sandy desert without sinking into the sand. Here assertion is given, reason is given. And the options are both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Option C, A is true but R is false. Option D, A is false but R is true. Which is the correct answer? Correct answer is option A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. The camel of a hot desert has long legs with wide hooves and these long legs and wide hooves help the camel to walk easily on the sandy desert without sinking into the sand. So option A is the correct answer. Both assertion and reason are true. Also R is the correct explanation of A. Next one, assertion. It is highly recommended that all fruits and vegetables be thoroughly washed before consumption. Reason: washing cut or peeled vegetables and fruits prevents the loss of some vitamins. Option A, both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Option B, both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. Option D, A is false, but R is true. Which is the correct answer? Option C, A is true, but R is false. It is highly recommended that all fruits and vegetables be thoroughly washed before consumption. That statement is true. See, what is R? Washing cut or peeled vegetables and fruits prevents the loss of some vitamins. Is it correct? No. Washing cut or peeled vegetables will result in the loss of vitamins. It cannot prevent the loss of vitamins. So, it is a false statement. So, A is true but R is false. Section B, short answer type questions, 2 marks each. Why must we protect our planet Earth? It is the only planet we know that supports life and it has an environment that we must protect. There is an amazing variety of life on Earth, plants and animals that have managed to survive and thrive in different regions on this planet. So we must protect our planet Earth. So Earth is the only planet that supports life. It has an amazing variety of life. It has different plants and animals that have managed to survive and thrive in these regions. Next one, describe the structure of a taproot system and provide an example of a plant that has it. A taproot system consists of a single prominent main root from which smaller side roots branch out. Examples: hibiscus, mustard, etc. So, a taproot system, it has a single prominent main root, and from this main root, smaller side roots branch out. While using iodine in the laboratory, a few drops of iodine fell on Mishti's socks and a few fell on her teacher's sari. The drops of iodine on the sari turned blue-black, while the color on the socks did not change. What can be a possible reason? So, when iodine falls on a sari and socks, sari turns blue-black, while the color on the socks did not change. Why? Because the sari was starched and the socks were not. Iodine reacts with the starch to produce a blue-black color. Next we have section C, short answer type questions of 3 marks each. Reshma bought 3 identical metal bars from the market. Out of these bars, 2 were magnets and 1 was just a piece of iron. How will she identify which 2 amongst the 3 could be magnets without using any other material? See, magnets can be identified using the principle of repulsion. Like poles of the magnet repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. So, bring 1 bar near the other bars. If 2 bars repel, then both are magnets. The bar that does not repel others is the iron bar. So, magnets both attract and repel, whereas iron only attracts. Thus, repulsion helps to find which one is the bar and which one is the magnet. Grishma had trouble seeing things in dim light. The doctor tested her eyesight and prescribed a particular vitamin supplement. He also advised her to include a few food items in her diet. Which deficiency disease is she suffering from? She is suffering from night blindness. Which food component may be lacking in her diet? She is lacking vitamin A in her diet. Suggest some food items that she should include in her diet to overcome this problem. She must take carrots, sweet potatoes, mango, pumpkin, spinach, eggs, liver, apricots, etc. These things are rich in vitamin A. What general relationship exists between the type of leaf venation and the type of root system in plants? Generally, plants with reticulate venation, that is net-like veins in their leaves, tend to have tap roots. Conversely, plants with a parallel venation, that is veins running side by side in their leaves, typically have fibrous roots. For example, a Sadabahar plant. It has taproot system and its leaves exhibit reticulate venation. Then what about lemongrass? It has fibrous roots and leaves with a parallel venation. Next we have section D, long answer type, 5 marks each. Besides humps, what other adaptation helps cold desert camels survive their environment, particularly in winters? Also, describe the water conservation adaptations of camels that allow them to survive for long periods without drinking. So, besides humps, what other adaptations helps cold desert camels survive their environment, particularly in winters? In addition to humps, cold desert camels grow long hair from their head to their neck. This thick hair provides insulation and helps them to survive the extremely cold winters found in regions like Ladakh. So in addition to humps, these cold desert camels, they have thick hair that grow from their head to their neck. And this thick hair provides insulation. Then, describe the water conservation adaptations of camels that allow them to survive for long periods without drinking. Camels have remarkable water conservation adaptations. They excrete very small amounts of urine and their dung is notably dry. Furthermore, camels do not sweat, which significantly reduces water loss from their bodies, enabling them to survive for many days without water. So, they excrete very small amounts of urine, their dung is dry, then they do not sweat. How to test the presence of protein in food items? First, you make a paste or powder of the food item and put about half a teaspoon of it into a clean test tube. Then add 2 or 3 teaspoons of water to the test tube and shake it well. Using a dropper, you add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution followed by 10 drops of caustic soda solution. After shaking the test tube and letting it sit for a few minutes, you observe the contents. The appearance of a violet color indicates that protein is present in the food item. So you put half a teaspoon of powdered food item into a clean test tube. Then add 2 or 3 teaspoons of water. Shake it well. Then add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution. Then add 10 drops of caustic soda solution. Then shake it well. Let it sit for a few minutes. Then the appearance of a violet color indicates that protein is present in that food. Section E, case study, 4 marks each. Case study, the Himalayan mystery. In the 1960s, a team of Indian scientists observed a puzzling health issue in the Himalayan region and the northern plains. A significant portion of the population, both young and old, displayed a noticeable swelling at the front of their necks. This condition caused discomfort and was a persistent medical concern. The scientists investigated various factors, including the local diet and environment. Their research revealed that the soil in this specific region was deficient in a crucial nutrient, which in turn meant that the local food and water supply also lacked it. Based on their findings and a government initiative, a widespread public health campaign was launched. It involved the distribution of a specially prepared food item that was supplemented with the missing nutrient. This simple but effective measure led to a dramatic reduction in the symptoms, providing relief to millions of people and solving the long-standing medical mystery. Then we will see the questions. What was the most common symptom observed among the people in the Himalayan and northern plains region? The most common symptom observed was a swelling at the front of the neck. Next one, what was the underlying cause of this health problem as discovered by the scientist? The underlying cause was deficiency of iodine in the soil of the region. What was the specific disease associated with the symptoms of swelling at the front of the neck? The symptoms of swelling at the front of the neck are associated with a disease called goiter. Goiter is a condition that arises from an iodine deficiency. How did the government of India work to solve this widespread health issue? The government of India made an effort to solve the issue by launching a public health campaign to supplement common salt with iodine. The consumption of this iodized salt helped to provide the missing nutrient to the population. Next, we will see case study 2, the root-leaf connection. Rohan is a curious young botanist who wants to understand how different parts of a plant are related. His teacher gives him a few plant samples to observe, including a Sadabahar plant and a lemongrass plant. Rohan notices that the Sadabahar plant has a single main root that grows deep into the soil, and its leaves have a network-like pattern of veins. In contrast, the lemongrass plant has a bunch of thin bushy roots, and its leaves have straight veins running parallel to each other. Rohan records his observations, and after further research on plants like chickpeas and wheat, he discovers a fascinating pattern. There is a consistent relationship between the type of root of a plant and the venation pattern of its leaves. What type of venation and root system did Rohan observe in the Sadabahar plant? Rohan observed that the Sadabahar plant has reticulate venation, a network-like pattern in its leaves and a taproot system. What type of venation and root system did Rohan find in the lemongrass plant? The lemongrass plant was found to have parallel venation in its leaves and a fibrous root system. What general rule or relationship can be concluded about plants with reticulate venation? Generally, plants with reticulate venation in their leaves have taproots. Example of the Sadabahar plant and chickpea support this rule. What is the relationship between the venation and the root system of plants with parallel venation? Plants with parallel venation in their leaves generally have Fibrous roots, examples of lemongrass and wheat illustrate this relationship. Sample papers for periodic test of other subjects will be soon uploaded. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. We will see you in the next video. Thank you.